Episode 99 features Hyunjung and Marta, business partners who are responsible for spreading the OASIS program to cities outside of Seoul. This free program helps individuals secure business visas, mentorships, and connections within the startup community. This episode is a must listen for anyone who's interested in the startup scene in South Korea. Both of these ladies are passionate about their venture and are no strangers to the hustle culture it takes to get something off the ground. Hyunjung is a native Korean who has worked around the world, which has helped her understand the needs and requirements for budding entrepreneurs living abroad. Marta is the founder of Seoul Startups, which is the biggest international startup community here in Korea, which boasts over 4,000 members. Lots of good info in this one. Hope you enjoy.
You are now tuned into This Korean Life with your hosts, Brian and Nate.
Let's roll it in. Okay. Welcome to another episode of This Korean Life featuring Kim Hyunjung and Martha or Marta?
Both are okay.
Marta Alina. Thank you guys for coming. I think there's 2 L's in your name, by the way.
Yes, there are.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Anyways, for anyone out there who's listening and have had similar experiences as me and Nate when you got a business idea or you see a gap in the market here in Korea and you got your plans and you got your little notebook and you write everything down and you don't know what the next step is. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the answer here. Finally, after all these years, 16 years, we got 2 founders here of Korea Startup Visa. Welcome. Thank you for coming down on a Monday morning from Busan. And can you guys please explain a little bit about what you do? Maybe start with the OASIS program.
Sure. So, long story short, OASIS program is a government-run program that helps wannabe foreign entrepreneurs not only get an essential visa to stay in Korea, but also set up their business and run their business in a successful way. And in order to get the visa, which is called the D84 visa, you have to fulfill certain requirements that give you points. You have to have at least 80 points to get the visa. And some of the ways to get the visa is to do certain courses, classes, workshops, as well as competitions, patent registration, etc. And it so happens that we are running 3 out of 9 OASIS programs that will allow you to get altogether 40 points out of the 80 points that will help you get the visa, the D4 visa.
Sure, yeah. We mentioned earlier with university students and whatnot.
Yes.
Other ways to obtain the visas, like having $100,000 or 100 million won cash, and it's not for a lot of students. That's not even an option. Yeah. So this is a good way to kind of jumpstart getting a visa and staying in country while you build your business.
Yes, it's a good part about the OASIS program. Once you take an OASIS program, which is OASIS 4, for example, what we are running is only for 20 hours, and we start from the Friday night and we finish Sunday, and then 20 hours you invest, we will give you 25-point OASIS visa, which is written with the military. And with that visa, the point expires in 3 years. Okay. So if you finish your school maybe next year, and then maybe you invest your time now to take a classes, and then after finish the university, and then they give you enough time for you to apply for pre-start the visa.
Sure,
you can get to the OASIS visa.
Nice. So in total, I think you said there's 9 OASIS courses you can take.
Yes.
You guys run 3 of them?
So there are courses, and there are also patent registration programs, competitions, and acceleration programs. So out of those 9 programs, various programs and forms of obtaining, we run 3.
Sure. And sorry, one more. You guys run OASIS 3, 4, 5, and 8. Do you have to do those chronologically?
No.
You can do whatever
time you want, any order you want.
Very nice. And I think listeners out there will be happy to hear that these are free.
Yes. It's free, but we do have a limited spot. We cannot have more than 30 students at once by rule.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's free.
And spots are filling up quick from what I hear.
Yes.
And food is included.
Yeah. Korean food. I realized that many people are coming from the more other culture, like lots of, for example, the students who apply so far, more they're from Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, and lots of African students. So we want to You know,
Like
we
you're
want
welcoming.
to, yeah, we're coming for them, you know? So,
Very
yeah, so
nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
I think in overall, this is a pretty big program, right?
Yes.
And it's not only limited to the D84 Or is
No.
it?
So the
because, yeah.
exactly. So the program that we're running is actually, like Jay mentioned, it allows you to get the points that are essential for getting the 8-4 visa. But before you get the 8-4 visa, with at least when you have one of the OASIS programs, any certificate from any of the OASIS programs, you're eligible to apply for D10-2 visa, which is the pre-startup, pre-business visa, which is for 6 months, and you can extend it up to 2 years.
Wow.
So
Korea taking steps. Yeah.
So I got a million questions. I'm familiar with the D10.
oh,
And I don't know if it's a D10 something else, but I know lots of university students who don't want to go home apply for a D10.
they apply for D10-1 visa, which is the job-seeking visa. This
Right.
is D10-2, which is the
Okay.
business preparation visa.
So I don't know if they know about these, if they know how they can get this. So what you're saying is if they sign up for a weekend course,
Yes.
a 20-hour free, 25-hour free weekend course, they can directly apply for a D10 too?
Yes.
How long is that good for? 6 months?
6 months, but it's extendable to up to 2
2
years.
So what are the requirements or the requisites they need to?
So they have to
Extend that.
present a certificate of completing at least one of the OASIS
Right.
programs, as well as a simple business plan, a one-page business plan.
Like a GPT one?
Yeah, you can. I think it can, with immigration, anything flies.
But because the goal is to extend the visa.
yeah.
So what? And sometimes getting the D10, from my understanding from my students, is that they apply for it, and the first 3 months, 6 months is no problem. But the next extension on that D10 one, they need to have TOPIK 2 or 3 to get the extension on that.
Here you have to prove that you're constantly preparing for
Right.
registering the business. So with the next extension, you have to prove, for instance, that you're show that you're submitting papers for patent registration, or show papers that you're doing another OASIS program.
that's
That
what
you
I'm
have
looking
to show that you're progressing
Something.
with the
Okay.
business registration.
So for the first one is just one OASIS certificate,
Yes.
but you don't need to register an official. You say extendable. Is it extendable 6 month periods or
In 6 months, the installment.
installments? Okay. So each one you got to keep moving towards something, which is the same as the D1 kind of.
Yeah.
But
And I
they can only ask for so much, so they say TOPIK 2 or 3 because that shows that you're actually trying.
yeah, that's kind of Korean logic. You
Yeah.
kind of show us how much
Sure.
you are trying hard, you know? Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. How is it determined? Or you guys said, I believe there's 7 organizations or companies that are five that are running this program.
yes.
That are,
But we are the only one who run the program outside Seoul.
and the only one running it in English.
In English, we obviously we didn't go most of them, and the many lecture they're mostly Korean, and
Right.
obviously their English not that great.
Which is a barrier for a lot of people who
Yes.
want to get in.
Yeah, exactly. Once they go there, they can't really get out of it. So often
Right.
just they end up just sitting down there, killing the time.
Right.
Ours, we have a good lecture, and also we are the only one who have a right to run outside Seoul, so that
So all the rest are only in Seoul.
yes, yeah.
And that's
So we came here to save you guys, So
that's what's frustrating. That's what's frustrating being down here. Is
Until now, a lot of people from this area or Jeollado, they had to commute all the way to Seoul for weekends or even weekdays. Some of the courses are doing the weekdays to get the points, which obviously if you have a job or you're going to school,
family, whatever.
you cannot do.
yeah.
So a lot of lost opportunities.
Sure, absolutely. And I mean, we preach that down here all the time. Hey, we're here.
Yeah.
We go to Seoul. Busan, where's that? Busan? No, Ulsan. Like the heartbeat of the country. Hyundai, SK, LG.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So that part's frustrating, especially now. I mean, Busan's an amazing city. The last 5-10 years, I mean, it's just really developed and turned into a real hub.
Yeah.
And to see that the support is like, I mean, okay, we understand if you say Ulsan's kind of a small fish, but man, Busan's not, and it's only 45 minutes away. So
Yes.
give us some support, give us some help. How does the government choose who gets to implement which OASIS programs?
So it's in Korea, we do have a system. Obviously, we are using the government money, so we do have a bidding system, which is Nara Jangtong.
Okay.
So it's a kind of marketplace for suppliers. We go and register and everything. So there are lots of paperwork, etc. So usually, the government, they make a RFP. You know what kind of what kind of company they're looking for and stuff. And then we read the RFP, and then we prepare the proposal, and also like give the price estimations and all like 100 different paperwork.
Always 100.
Yeah, so that's how they work. And then,
But you guys are doing OASIS 4, 5, and 8.
yeah, that's the only thing we can.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like, can you explain maybe the difference of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 9, and how you guys are only doing these 3, or if these are the 3 best or the easiest?
1, 2, 3 are connected with IP and design patents, which in order to run these programs, both the educational programs and also actually getting the patents, you have to be a qualified lawyer, patent lawyer.
Oh,
So obviously we cannot do those.
and those are not applicable for the average person trying to have a startup.
No, you actually have to have them. They're required. So
Have to.
yeah, so you have to apply for a patent. You don't have to get the patent, but you have to apply for either a patent or a design patent. Very easy to apply. It's very easy.
But it's not. Is this the first step? Like when I look at your program and it's like Korean culture, Korean this.
No. You don't have to do them in order, but these are required. These are eventually required to.
Okay.
Because you need to get 80 points, right? So we give you 40 points. To get another 40 points, this is the easiest one to, fill out the points.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And the other one, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7 are, I don't remember exactly, but one is a startup competition
Run by government.
run by a government agency, and one is an acceleration program.
Okay.
Also run by a government agency. So
You just have to attend. You just have to attend that.
I think with
You have to win.
agency,
You have to win the startup.
you have to win or place in top 3.
Okay.
And that's the Korean startup, whatever government startup test or something.
Yeah.
That's a
So-
pretty big one.
Yeah, so basically, like, kind of just participate the program, the OASIS points, 4 and 5 at the most easiest one, and whoever comes, we can give it a point.
Right. So these one, a little bit different.
Yeah.
And do you say there's 8 and 9 as well?
8, so we do 8 as well, which is consulting for business registration. We essentially help you and support you both also in fees to register your business here in Korea legally. And it's a requirement to get the D84 visa. You have to have a registered business entity when you apply for D84.
Okay. Question on that. That's just go down to the tax office, give them your ID card, tell them your company name.
No, it cannot be Kane's help. It cannot be individual business ownership. It's a little bit more complicated, but
I think my wife would be an expert in this department. She's been helping me for years.
Yeah.
we can hire her as a consultant.
She would be glad to know that you guys will be helping me now.
Also, is she Korean?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we love to have our content. We love to invite more like people locally there. It is here, so we make our own network.
I just mean she's got the moriapa of trying to help me and guide me through my business aspirations, and it can be quite moriapa sometimes.
Well, sorry, I was just wondering if you can give some more steps. Like you said, the single business owner, you just go register.
Yeah, you just go to the tax office, 15 minutes, and you're done. But for visa, you cannot be an individual business ownership. It has to be a corporation.
What do you need for that? Yeah.
So 법인 usually basically there are a couple of papers, and then we need to put the capital. So basically by the law, the 개인사업자 sole proprietorship is you own the company.
Yeah.
So all the tax system, everything will be under your name.
Okay.
Corporation is belong to the Inaway government. That's a kind of common most the word.
Okay.
So you have to put the capital. But we do have many foreign friends actually here went to the OASIS program. They have a corporation, successful, they're running it, and they're working and living in Korea happily. So capital is not that big. Most of them, they only put the 1 million won.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's not bad.
Just
Yeah, not bad,
So have something, but yeah.
So we do have a couple of templates, and then I'm actually making the template with my no coding platform too right now, so that more people can have access. And then in Korea, usually you have to hire the people, like different license and stuff. We want to really simplify everything.
Sure.
So whoever hired really they want to start something, we are here to help them.
So at the end of the day, our goal is, other than the OASIS, for running the OASIS programs, is also to create a one-stop platform where foreigners who want to do business in Korea can go.
Hallelujah.
With a good price.
And all the essential consulting that you need to
that's
create
so
a business here.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Where was that 10 years ago?
20 years.
20 years ago.
Jeez, I would have been a million.
That's what an idea. And
Yeah, and personally, I will take a test next year to be 행정사. Or it's not like a lawyer, but another system. So legally, I can handle all like visa issues in Korea.
fantastic.
So I heard the market price is very, very high and a very big hurdle. But obviously, I want to cut down with the technologies.
Sure.
And then, so better word is coming for you guys, So I just wait a little bit. It's on the way.
Okay, couple ones. Wait, is there a 9 also or no?
Oh,
Or is this 9?
I think
I don't know.
You have this one here on the site, on your site, or on the...
no. This is
So-
this is a different visa type. So
that's not an
D9
OASIS thing, okay.
It's not an OASIS, but you also so there's an OASIS 4+ program, which is called the trading visa, trade
The import export?
workshop or boot camp. And D9, and it's to get the D91 visa, which is a very new visa issued by the Korean government. I think this year or last year. And it's essentially for anybody who wants to run an export-import business in Korea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that 4+ is strictly for trade.
Yes, for training.
And you take the 4+ OASIS to get the D91.
Yes. And we will be running it only once this year.
During Chuseok.
During Chuseok?
Yeah, because we know that during Chuseok,
Sorry, Jangwon-im.
people are especially foreigners, are not really that busy, and we just want to get everybody to enjoy their time
Sure.
with us.
There's not a lot of times when people have that block of free time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
do it.
understand that.
I like the approach. Can you just tell for the listeners what, like 20 hours or 25 hours, what are these OASIS 4 or 5? I read about them, but can you just explain a little bit of what the courses are?
Okay.
They're 2 hours of this, 3 hours. Just so maybe they're not intimidated or think it's too serious or...
Okay, cool. So I will start, and then maybe just Martha is good with the details, so she can jump in later. So 20 hours, actually, we cannot choose the subject. The subject is given from the Ministry of Justice. So we follow the regulation.
Okay.
So we will stick with the subject, but we do have a freedom the way how we structure it, So we don't like the classroom setting at all. So we believe that 20 hours is really good, more like bootcamp style. So anyone have a heart to start something, of course they will get the visas and stuff, but at the same time, it's really valuable time for them. So the way how we structure, it'll be, we want to make it kind of 4 different sessions. Every 2 hours, if there are 10 different subjects, 10, multiply 2 is 20. So for example, there are like how to like structure about the law or something. So instead of the boring lawyer talk about law for 2 hours, in the beginning, kind of 30 minutes, me and Martha, we facilitate the thing. So what is so important for you to run it? And then we invite the expert, and then the expert will talk about the lecture, maybe only like more knowledge-based, like 20, 25 minutes. And then we'll have a real Q&A. I think there will be lots of Q&A. So we are there to interpret and everything, etc. So we will bring
So that's what I looked at. When I saw 2 hours understanding immigration laws and regulations, I went, I'll be sleeping for that part. So it's really, that's why I think it's good that you explain.
Yes. Yeah, it's good.
Explain what it's like.
We have to put that because it's like Jason, we're required by
the mandated curriculum, but you're free to...
We're free to vote with the format, so we want to make it as exciting for people as possible.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can only do so much, for instance, with immigration law, but we want to also make... Obviously, people will have questions, so allow them to ask questions.
That's the most important part, is the Q&A thing. We, through our NGO, we do some youth leadership stuff.
Yeah.
And we can sit up there and tell them whatever. But the most valuable stuff is when we bring our old student alumni back to talk to them and let them ask questions. Anni, what was it like? Now you go to Ewade. Why is this volunteering important?
Yeah.
What should I do? Should I just put my jockey on and hang out on my phone? Or should I actually apply myself while I'm volunteering?
Yeah.
And that I find the Q&A part is so much more valuable than just we get a little bit more attention because we're Weigugans.
Yeah.
But as soon as a Korean gets up there and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, that's why if you can...
And also for us, I think the most priority when we design the OASIS program, the foreigners' time. I think we really, like when they can have a block of time. And also, we do have many foreign entrepreneurs who are running the business. Think about how much hard time they went through, right?
Yeah.
So they will be our lecturer.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of qualifications made by the Ministry of Justice they have to fulfill. So I check all the check boxes. We invite them. They will come and they talk. I will talk.
Awesome. Love it. Okay. And some of the other ones, some of the other 2 hours are?
All of them have to be 2 hours. That's again a requirement by the government.
Yep.
But we kind of want to mash them up together, and like Jay said, do it a little bit in a hackathon/bootcamp format.
Sure.
Give activities to people, have them do something, and step out of their comfort zone a little bit, and also integrate with other participants as well.
Yeah.
I think that's also crucial. Like for our university, I just did a big presentation on AI in education and business for the university at our big workshop. And, you can have the guys who go up and just talk for their hour, or I think it's so much more valuable to have people exchanging ideas and asking questions. And same thing for this. I mean, I think, hey, you're from Bangladesh, you're from India, you're from Mexico. We got all different perspectives on things and all different experiences in Korea and with business. And I think that's the most valuable time is, okay, give us the outline, the structure, and then let us share our ideas and work together.
Right. And we've had experience with that by running a hackathon called Startup Weekend over the last few years, where we get participants from all over the world working together for 54 hours to form teams and develop ideas. And we've seen real magic happen when it comes to entrepreneurship. So we want to replicate that in this program as much as we can. The law allows us.
Yeah. So I like that you touch on the people's time is valuable, because the last thing you want to do is sign up for one of these, go to another city, give up your weekend, give up your study time or whatever, and then go, this wasn't worth it. Yeah, because a lot of the immigration stuff is, right? Get your bank account, my students, get your bank account to say it has $10,000. Well, they get 5 bank accounts. And they take all the money from all my friends, put it in mine. Okay, look, I'm satisfied the visa requirement. It's just kind of like lip service. Yeah. So I'm glad to see you guys appreciate or respect the people's time, and that you try to make it worthwhile, because, hey, word of mouth will get you a lot more people coming in if they have fun.
I think it's good because, like Martha, she's a foreigner in Korea. She's been here like almost 20 years, now 19 years. And they think about, like, it's from her own experience, right? And then often, like, for Korean, it's hard to understand because we don't have lots of exposure, right? So I think we understand, what you guys are going through. And then we want to hit the, like, system, not in a bad way, but, make sure,
I think, too, through the Q&A, you're going to see similar cases from all over. If you're coming all over the South, right, you're going to see similar cases and similar questions pop up, which will help inform your programs in the future,
right? And make them better as well.
Yeah.
Sharpening your blade. Huh?
Something like the understanding of Korean society. I imagine some of the people that are interested in starting businesses have been here for quite a while, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. How do you go from the basics, or do you assume that everyone has a general understanding of how Korean society works?
We have to play it by the year, because some of the applicants because the program is open to any visa type.
Right.
So we also have applicants with tourist visa. So these people obviously have not been here that long. They've been maybe a couple of months. So we have to kind of adjust the program to fit everybody's baseline of understanding the Korean society. But I think that the best way to do that is to have those who have been living longer here in Korea kind of help those and mentor those that have been not that long and maybe don't have all the experience and the exposure. So that's why with this particular module, we want to do more of group work and teamwork, and kind of mix everybody up and have them share their experiences.
A parallel with teaching too, right? When you're teaching one class of 50 kids and there's fluent speakers and there's people who don't read. That's exactly what you pair them up there, or you put them in groups and let them go at it. Oh, good approach.
Practice of real estate. I don't need that. Why do I need that? What's that for?
Personally, I believe that we have to take it out as subject, and we were negotiating with the Ministry too. Mm-hmm. So Ministry of SME, I think they want to take it out as subject, especially, but I think Ministry of Justice, they didn't confirm yet. But so that one, I think we want to have a more practical approach. like how to what the rent system here and there, and there's
To get a negotiate a contract.
or something,
I think it's good. I think it's something that, I mean, real estate, maybe you think, oh, I need to buy property or land, but
yeah,
man, half the foreigners here have major headaches with lease agreements, rent
everything,
agreements.
Yeah.
And I think what we want with this one, what we want to do is like show them or also share with them like different resources and templates that they can use and kind of base their when they negotiate contracts and various forms of, especially with registering virtual, like you don't need an actual office, you can register a virtual office as well. So to kind of help them navigate that system, we will help extend to resources as well.
Very cool.
Virtual office. We could do a virtual.
Yeah, I always meant again, we came here earlier, but I've always pictured the Korean system as very rigid and like not I don't know. Yeah, very.
But there are ways to like, it's
but it
interesting.
seems like it's opening up lots, and they're open to a lot of.
I don't think they're really opening up, but I kind of visit the halls out there, and then kind of because end of the day they are all government worker, right? So they don't have an incentive when they do something, right?
Oh,
so
preach.
So and also like for example, I'm like communicating with the ministry everyday basis. So for us, like, how can you bring the actually people who really need OASIS program, etc. They can be more beneficial. But for them, just they have to make sure they cannot take any risk, right? So like, what about like this guy comes and he was a criminal before, what can we do? So it's from their basis for like different approaches, right? So I'm thinking like maybe for us, like, but we don't really make money too. We don't really charge anyone there, right? So it's in a way easy. Just we have to bring the good people and then make a lot of papers and do that. So like we simplify everything. Like all Korean document, for example, it's HWP file. Like,
Oh, another
use the HWP file. I hate it. Like when I come
Internet Explorer too.
Internet Explorer, Edge or whatever. But I creep it like what I did, and they were saying that, you need to get the registration form in HWP. No, nobody will fill out, and then I cannot find 100 people, right? So what I did a screenshot. I made a different part because they don't have any knowledge about IT, right? And then I bought a Dropbox hello sign. And I put it there. I put all the names and stuff. And then when they just sign it, it looks just like PDF file. It's exact same, right? So I made it, and then I showed the ministry. It'll be okay. This is so cool. How did they make it? They pay the money and my flow, and so it's very easy to. So they don't know how to make it because they've been in the ministry last 20 years using the HW.
But it's 2023. I think it speaks to, like you said, there's no incentive for them to. We go to the city with lots of proposals and lots of stuff for our NGO.
Yeah.
But it just creates headaches for them. And they're like, well, if I don't do that, my job's easy. If I do it, it's a little risk and it's a lot of headaches and kichana. So in 2 years, I'm changing offices. So I'll just tell them 조금 기다려 for 18 months. And then I say, I'm leaving. So wait for the next guy.
Yeah.
Do you run into that working with the government a lot where,
every day.
You talk to Mrs. Kim today and tomorrow it's Mr. Park and you're like, where's Mrs. Kim? Oh, she changed offices.
Yeah.
Oh, we just developed a relationship and now I got to do it again.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Like the reason we moved to Busan because we got a proposal from the city come and run the program. So we wrote the RFP for 6 months.
Awesome.
And then we did it and we proposed and they chose someone else.
Even though they promised they didn't even promise. They said it as a fact. You will be running this program.
Gutless.
And then they literally said, "Oh, we're really sorry."
Somebody, Sambe or Hukbe called in.
The person didn't and then contact to another department is very typical, right? So in a way, I think we also hustling everyday basis, right? So I think that when you are running the business, it's perfect. Or you are running 30% of the income is coming from the government, 70% coming from your own generating income. I think perfect, but obviously we cannot really go there yet. That is our dream. Then we also build up lots of different businesses. So for now, that's why I think the OASIS always I used to complain like, that agent stuff, the way how they run it, why they do run it like that. And also I used to run the Seoul Global Startup Center in Seoul when I first moved to Korea. So first off, so I design everything with the city. I used to have a lot of files here and there. So I learned from there a lot, And then those days, there's no law. Like I used to make flyers, go to Itaewon, go to the bar and go to the, the foreigner, can you please apply? Because I need a big number. So like I did it for 1 week and then almost 300 applications came up.
Nice.
So city, like they never saw something like that, right? So they don't care. They only need a 300. I did a screenshot, see this application. there's a way how to connect, but also I'm learning at the same time. I'm Korean born and grew up here, but it's really hard. So
I teach a Gomwon class
Yeah.
at the Ursande, and it's interesting because we do the Byungli stuff, and I'm here talking to these guys that we go in that I would maybe see or I've seen before, and they've said, "Oh, sorry, oh, we're going, you're nah, danse na," and it's so frustrating. But when I teach them on a personal basis, they're all like my best friends.
yeah, exactly.
And then they're like, "Oh, Nate, well, how can I help you? What can I do for your group? Or when you have a problem, call me." I'm like,
yeah.
"But I was in your office 3 weeks ago. You didn't know me, and I was a Moriapa Yonga Kichan." And now that you actually know me and know that, we do volunteer work and we're helping disadvantaged youth, and now all of a sudden you think, "Oh, it's not so Kichana, and these are good people."
Yes.
But it's so frustrating that you have to get over those.
I think what helps a lot is when it's not only with the civil servants and government institutions, but also with corporations, is to find one person that's going to be your knight in silver armor, that's going to get really excited about your project and stand up for you and pitch your project to the higher ups. And once they manage to get the higher ups excited, you have a high chance of succeeding.
Sure. But like we said, they don't like to stick their neck out, the routine, sit in my chair and comfort us up. It's really difficult. And you know who found one of those was Binod. Yeah.
Yeah.
He found that guy, and now, I mean, at one point they had 6 namaskar restaurants in Korea, in the southern part, and now they've moved back to Nepal, and he's got Korean hagwons, an international school, a clothing store, an ABC Mart,
And it
started here with him begging people to invest in him, to trust him, to believe in him. And he was a factory worker for 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
He got mistreated and not paid and all the typical, so much so that he joined the church.
Yeah.
Because the church had some Hyundai guys. The Hyundai guys started to go to bat for him because we're in the church. And anyways, now he's a major success story.
Wow.
But now they have businesses here and in Nepal. They got to travel, running charter flights.
He convinced a phone store guy
Yeah.
to quit selling phones and open a Nepalese restaurant.
Awesome.
So, and it just went.
Good. Yeah, that's amazing.
But he went through hell and high water to get there. I mean, not easy. Part of what we've discussed over years is lots of our ideas. We think of just being trumped by the corporations. And like you say, they told you could run the program in Busan. All of a sudden, Sunbae or Hubei hears, they give them a call. You're out, they're in.
Yeah.
That's a lot of times we've come up with ideas and we go, but this is too good. Someone will just take it, and they got more capital than us.
Yeah.
And they just drown us out of the market.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. But at the same time, I think we shouldn't give up in a way.
Right.
And eventually we'll break through. Yeah. It's a lot of trial and error and learning experience.
Yeah. It also, at the same time, we are not touching the city money. That's my tactic. I don't want to compete with them. Like even the OASIS program, they say, there are a lot of ladies coming from overseas, they major Korean, and they're running the program. So people, they don't really know that this thing is like, I said before, like, no, this is different, but now like, okay, cool. But it's fine, we get the money. This is central government tax money.
Right.
So, I'd rather to touch this system because it's very, very big hurdle for any kind of foreign owner to enter that. But we have a good ratio. That's what we are doing. And another thing I wanted to emphasize that once you come to OASIS 4 program, what we did then, and we also invite the people who work in the government as a lecturer too. From their side, they never have exposure for the global community. So like last week at my house, personally, I invite the government-run accelerator directors and then the students from Ethiopia and India. So we had a dinner together, and they had amazing time. So like the someone in the government system, wow, like I never knew that there are lots of foreign students in Busan, very big, so we are talking about farm tech, AI, and it's so good.
Is there any way to combat that inaptitude of, like, it's so, I just wrote it down, like, I don't know if it's laziness, contentment, but isn't Korea interested in making Korea better?
No,
like these guys passed the Sunung, the tests are so hard to get into those institutions.
Yes.
And then, like you say, they're surprised that you had 300 people sign up. You're surprised that they changed the HWP to and we run into the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, look, here's G Drive. You can do all this. What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to wait 5 years till neighbor or cacao catches up.
Yeah.
And we feel like we're always working, a couple of years ahead of, we have to wait for the government to catch up and approve of what we've been doing that for years. And we're not even ahead of the guys we know are 2 years ahead of us.
Yeah.
And it feels like we're always waiting for them to catch up
But that's where like organizations like Soul Startups and Southside Startups come in, is to build the community of both, where there's both entrepreneurs, government, academia, VCs, and get them together to sit at one table, exchange ideas, and connect with one another.
How do you feel that's received on the government's side of it? Because that's what I feel like. We all have to go into a demonstration and say, hey, wake up. We all want to do business. Why is it so hard? But
I think
they eventually have to answer. What is the typical, how do they receive that?
I think at first they're surprised and a little confused, like, what is that? What is community? I don't understand. Why do we need community? Or is it like, they think it's like a government-run event. But when they come to the event and see that we're running it as I would say a Western-style networking event with pizza, with panel talks, with free networking, with ice-breaking games.
Feedback checks.
They get really excited, and they go back to their office and tell their colleagues, like, look, I went to this event. It was fun. It got me excited about entrepreneurship in our city. Let's do something. So it's little steps. It's like, dripping the water into a rock.
Oh, that's what we're waiting for. And say like, hey, give us a 38-year-old young, smart woman and let us consult with them, and she'd be the best mayor Ulsan's ever had.
Oh, yeah.
But they just can't get out of the 75-year-old traditional man mentality.
It's very hard in Korea. I think we have to remember the Korea, I born and grew up here. I born in Busan, and I actually grew up in Yangsan, I don't know, it's small town. And then I moved here and there, but the one thing I think Korea is very different than like special countries, some like Canada or other country. We grew up not to take any risk. And then so we are never really curious of outside Korea, most of generally, So you guys came here because you're really curious, the space here in Korea, I think different people too, nobody pushed you to move to Korea. Right. But, you chose here, you like here, and you are figuring out how to live here because, and you want to give back to the society too, right? But the Koreans who grew up here, and especially most of government people, why they chose their job from the beginning, right? They want the safety and security, right? So it's very two different words, and then lots of things. I think Korea only happen to change when really big thing comes. I don't think change doesn't come. I think what is the English word? Gradually, nothing comes. Like the COVID happened. Like how you saw how the Korea chuk change everything. Now it's okay to run the meeting with the Busan City on the Zoom. I never thought about it a couple years ago.
Virtual offices,
It's possible not to have basic 4 nights a week.
Right? And Korean accept so fast. I was joking to my friend yesterday. I went to Namhae, and then I saw on the beach they are doing the beach yoga with a big microphone. Somebody was, and then I said, wow, now the beach yoga become a fashion in Korea. So funny. My mom, she live in Jeju. Maybe she will do the beach yoga in a year.
Well, this is what we admire about here, is that it can change so fast. When we came, cigarettes were free to every man in the army. They were given cigarettes.
Yes.
Which you think about, like,
what? Yeah.
And then it was, people started talking bad about it, and then they said, okay, no more free cigarettes, but you get a coupon for 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Go get your cigarettes. Yeah. And then they changed from no coupons to now they just don't give the cigarettes.
Yeah.
But there was a time forever, we thought, there's no way Korea will ever stop smoking because every man smokes from free cigarettes in the army.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then in 2-3 years, it went, 120평, 80평, 40평. Yeah. We tell our friends that left, there's no smoking inside anymore. Yeah. No, wait. It changed 18 months.
Yeah.
Wow. That was years in Canada. Yeah, it took years for the UK.
It took forever to do.
Same in Europe.
And here there's some...
People were upset, whereas here they were like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so one problem that relates to this and this mentality of being able to adapt and change quickly that we brought up on here 100 times, this population crisis.
Yeah.
The fastest decreasing population in the world. Here, Japan, China, I think is 3. No babies, no marriages, and almost zero immigration.
Yes.
Yes.
This is one way to combat that.
Yeah.
now it's finally being talked about.
Yes.
Because the effects are starting to be felt.
The problems are there.
Universities are closing, no students.
So,
Schools are closing, no students. And people are now, we've been banging this drum for 10 years. Nobody listens.
yeah.
And they know, the guys at City Hall, they know.
Yeah.
I go down there and I beg them and I speak passionately that my international students have rules. They can only work 20 hours a week. But they're picking the vegetables you're eating tonight.
Yeah.
They're making the car parts for the cars you're driving from Hyundai. And you put a limit on them, but no Koreans want to do that job.
Exactly. Yeah.
How can you have all these restrictions on my kids?
Yeah.
And they're worried about, and they get mistreated, they don't get paid, they get abused. But if we don't have them, the society collapses.
What? Yeah.
There's zero immigration, virtually zero immigration.
Yes.
We always say Canada has the same problem,
Yeah.
but we take in 500,000 immigrants a year.
Yes.
So we can at least maintain or slowly continue to evolve or develop or grow. So this is one way that we see having your kind of support and government support on this is crucial to the sustainability of Korean economy and society as a whole.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know how Korea can fix this problem because they've thrown tens of thousands of dollars at women to have kids. They don't want the money.
No.
They've made all these benefits. They don't care.
Yeah. Sorry.
Is Korea going to be?
I don't make-
Is Korea going to become? English isn't as prominent enough as it. If you have $500,000 and want to invest in a startup or be a startup, create a startup, $100,000, you're going somewhere else. You're going to Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, where you can speak English and get around, and
Even Taiwan is considered more.
and they welcome you.
Yeah.
But here, there's still kind of that barrier. Can you guys speak to this a little bit? I mean, I think what you're doing is essential to the existence of Korea.
I think I'm very pro-immigration, by the way. So the only way the Korea can survive, we need to open up. And then this is, as a Korean, when I see this program, that's how I understood. I think they use the name of the startup, make sure that it's kind of a fashion trendy word. But in a way, they cannot expect the real tech startup to move to Korea in a way. So I believe that the OASIS program and the SPRESS program while we are running, they put the whole out there. So more people, I think the only people who want to stay in Korea forever already been in Korea.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like especially foreign students.
Us.
You guys, you don't have a family here or most of them. So my target is very specified, like a student from the Bangladesh, Pakistan, India. I lived in India 8 years, by the way. So I know the culture. I love their culture. I really want to go to Bangalore and bring like thousands of them. That's my dream. I used to dream about when I moved to Busan. Maybe if we become big enough, I will go to the world and bring all the developers and bring them here with their families. And then that's how we have to build up,
Sure.
So I think they're very pro-immigration. And then so that's how we have to build up. But in Korea, in a way, the government, they didn't make a decision. When I think about Korea history, in 60s, like Hyundai, Samsung and stuff, it didn't mean by the government. So, but somehow government worked it out with the chaebol, how to make it like more like pyramid style. So everyone was working for the top of the pyramid and they import and export. They had all the license. Somehow we, as a country, somehow you work it out. I think it's very Korean style. So I believe the government looks like they're very, they don't really listen to us and stuff. But now they finally know that we have a big population problem. And then I'm not like forecast or something, but I think in the future, near future, I think city to city level, they will fight each other in a way. They will they have to put their KPIs.
We're telling Ulsan now, be the first one.
Yes.
It says global Ulsan. And I'm like, it's not global.
Yeah.
I'm the only guy here and it's because my face is white.
Yeah.
Where's the Chinese? Where's the Bangladeshi? Where's the Uzbek?
Yeah.
They're not here. Why am I only here?
Yeah.
And there's only 67 Canadians in Ulsan.
Yeah.
Why do you only want to listen to me?
Yeah, exactly. There's a typical Korean, people like to see Caucasian as more a teacher and a term,
But I tell them, be the first to be truly global.
Yeah.
You can trump Busan, Masan, Jinju, Pohang, Daegu.
Yeah.
Welcome the world and just say, you know what? The traditional Koreans in Ulsan are going to be not happy.
Yeah.
But this is the survival of our city.
Exactly. Yeah. So so that's what I love to bring the, more cases, the coming from the other Asian country. And then I think for Korean to understand, they need a lot of interpretation, So I kind of position ourselves as a mediator in the system, So this one and this one, there are big gap. And then this is my heart. Like I moved to Korea. And then I lived in the countries. I lived in Africa. I lived in India, Singapore, studied in France. It's not like a kind of, America, like kind of not kind of Korean favorite country to move in, So I experienced the diversity. And then I think diversity can make a Korea different. But they give the fear to the Korean. But good thing about the Korean, like I have all my imos and gongos or aunties, they born and grew up here, right?
Yeah.
When I meet them, they have changed toward the, the foreigners. I remember like when I used to date a foreign guy, like in my 20s, they were so afraid about the first answer my mom is going, he's in the U.S. Army. So mom, no, Americans are not the only white people in the world. For them, that's how they see the stuff, right? Now, like I meet them and then they really appreciate the, people working in the farms and they do, but they don't really know how to, I had my dad died like 2 years ago in my funeral. All my foreign friends, including Martha, came. So like all my like samchun, they were so astonished. Like they were bow to them and like, no, don't bow to them, So like I see the changes in a way, but changes, it will come just like COVID, So I hope that just I declare that the especially Busan and Ulsan area will be very global city, not by the government people, but something will happen. Yes, Martha.
No, I think with the immigration, some of the ministries, some of the government agencies at the top are recognizing that things have to be taken to the next level. And so the Ministry of SMEs and Startups has specifically put in its agenda for this year and oncoming years, inbound programs to bring in foreign entrepreneurs, foreign startups into Korea. Yes, to solve the population problem, but also bring in innovation and diversity into the startup scene.
Sure. Okay, but in that regard, November 2022, 111 people on the D84.
Yeah.
That doesn't solve anything, right? I mean, to solve this through the business is impossible. What they need is to get guys on D84s or whatever, and then they bring auntie, uncle, cousin, and bring their families here.
Yeah.
So Korea might foster a startup industry for foreigners, but is it going to be welcoming to everybody else? Because, again, I mean, if there's no people, how do you sustain this, right? And this is what's, I think, 111 and 224 people took the OASIS course in 2015 compared to 1,000 in 2022. Good growth, good direction. It's going in the right direction. But, I mean, it you say the guys at the top understand, but it's got to be exponential growth if it's going to have any impact on.
But so that's why the Ministry of the Ministry of SMEs and Startups can only do so much in their little field of work, but they are working with the Ministry of Justice to change the specifically this program to make it easier and more accessible to people, and change the curriculum so it's more user friendly. So, and also to help people. So the natural progression is from D4 visa, you're supposed to apply for F27 visa and then F5 visa. And they want to make that process also easier and more accessible for people.
Yeah. And I think in Canada, we see it, and I'm sure in Poland as well, but in Korea, it's like, oh, we can't use Explorer? Well, no, it's stifled growth in Korea for 20, 30 years because you didn't want to move off of Explorer. And some of these things we say, well, if we do that, then we're more accommodating foreigners. But that's the whole point. I mean, Canada is just a quilt of people from all over the world. And the Canadian government knows that all the government documents come in 20 different languages because we have to.
Yeah.
And here, they say, okay, just English and Chinese is good. No, it should be in 10 different languages.
Yeah.
Because you're limiting and you're putting parameters on something that you don't want the parameters on. So I think they're now transitioning from that point of view where, like you said, oh, it's going to be welcoming to foreigners. They're going to come and take all of our... Well, you don't have kids to do all the jobs. It doesn't even matter. And you don't want to do the 3D jobs. Everybody wants this cushy aircon job, which doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So you better start bringing in... It's okay if your son or daughter works for a foreigner startup in Korea.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not so bad.
Yeah.
But
it's just frustrating. I think that, but we have to remember that yesterday was Yu-Gi-Oh! 625. We had a Korean War here, like only 70 years ago.
Yeah.
And then we never, I think the Canada in a way, I think kind of country that started it, right? Like I remember like my family, we wanted to move to Quebec in 80s. We pack up everything. I thought they wanted to buy that. We opened the mushroom farm, and then he decided not to go because he didn't want to take a risk, He went there to Canada. He was shocked to see the SNU graduate open the hamburger shop. I think he was shocked to see. Like, no, I don't want to, So I think the coming back here, I think Korea, we never planned this one. We never knew that we won't have enough population. Everything is first time for us.
But hold on. But this has been on the books for 15 years already.
But that is you see it as a big picture, right? The people in the system, they don't really see it as a picture. Ministry, they're fighting to each other.
But this is what I mean, though. It's just one it's just one paper. Look, we only had this many people have kids. In 20 years, this many kids will be 20 years old. This is a major problem.
Yeah.
And for the guys, which is the frustrating part, pass the sunung, study, memorize everything, but they miss the things that are blatantly obvious right in front of their eyes. And that's the frustrating part of it. Maybe go into the F part, because that's, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you guys
we have we talked a lot about D visas and whatnot, but we can just openly apply for any of these.
We don't.
Yeah. So
Okay, well, probably easier. So just some context. We have a lot of the ideas. Lots of the students don't get the ideas until their 4th, 5th, 6th year.
Yeah.
We're here. We have ideas. We have access to maybe a little bit of capital. We have connections. But again, there's no direct path or support or mentoring to get to this point. And I mean, the reality is, how many 50-year-old foreigners are in Korea?
Yeah.
Not many.
Not many.
How many 60-year-olds? Fewer. And so what's going to happen to us who have, we do this podcast, we run an NGO, we're bridging cultures, we're working our asses off in Korea because we like to, we're passionate, but I'm not going to be drinking makgeolli, playing paduk in the park.
Yeah.
When I'm retired, I'm gone.
Yeah.
And that's a huge loss to Korea, to lose people that have invested 10, 15, 20 years who are volunteering, working, running side hustles, this, that.
Yeah.
The government should be bending over backwards to make sure that we don't want to leave.
I know.
But we're talking about homeschooling our kids because we don't like the education system.
Yeah.
And if anything else falls through, you know what? We have options to go other places.
Yeah.
That are more friendly, more foreign friendly, more welcoming, tax cuts, this, to bring people in. And Korea just doesn't offer that right now.
No.
So it's almost like they don't even see us, which I think are kind of like the foundation of this coming in. When guys come and say, hey, Nate, I want to start a business here, go somewhere else. It's way easier.
Yeah.
Go somewhere else. It's so much easier. There's so much red tape here. So these new guys get married, all these ideas run into the red tape and the support. And so how can we, how can this make it easier for us in the F visa category to say, hey, do it. Come and do your startup. Come and start your business. You can stay in Korea. You can't. Because if I got business here, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, you're tied down.
But this is not the ideal retirement country.
No.
So if the government starts opening, foreign retirement villages like they have in other countries, tax-free, Wi-Fi internet, 5G internet, hey, people would come here. But it's not that way yet. How can you fit in the F visas into this stuff?
So first of all, the OASIS program is open to any visa holders, and it's not just a program to get the points for the visa. As we mentioned, it's a structured program to help you, especially the OASIS 4 and 5 are programs to help you both get the basic knowledge about founding and running a business in Korea, and then also get you specialized mentoring depending on what your idea is and what your needs are. So anybody can join. It's not just about the visa. It's
ton of Hagwon teachers out there who are teaching young kids, dreaming, I wish I could open this business, blah blah. They're free to join as well.
They're more than welcome.
And it's weekends, it's accommodating schedules.
And this is the thing. Like I feel like Koreans see us as one dimensional.
Yeah.
You're white. You're a teacher. No, actually, I'm not even from an official English country. You're this, you're that. That's what I mean. Like,
you're not teaching life here.
Oh, you're an American English teacher. No, I'm not. We thought about starting an online market, a domestic online market, because so many of the people we know have so many skills, especially the immigrant wives population.
Yeah.
They're not just wives.
Yeah.
They can cook. They can do so many things. They can sell their handicrafts. They can do. My daughter's gymnastics teachers from the Ukraine. The hockey guys are from Canada, Russia, America. We're not just teachers, just housewives, just factory workers. All these guys have so much potential, and it's just stifled here.
So I have a good story about that. We have one of our graduates, I guess a friend of ours. She's from Russia. She was a housewife. She was on the F visa as well. But she's educated, a designer and an artist, and she dreamed of having a design studio. And she did the OASIS program. She didn't need to. She could have done it on F visa and opened her business on an F visa, but she did the OASIS program. got all the documentation and registered her business and is opening this weekend as a design co-working studio for artists coming to Busan to do art stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll send you an invitation. Like they're having an open house.
Yeah, we run the markets. Like with all the festivals and whatnot, we organize a lot of markets, and there's so many.
And we used to organize the foreigners market here.
Yeah.
That was held once a month illegally, because again, all these guys who have their side hustles, it's too much work to go through the process to be official. I say the police shouldn't be coming and saying you can't do this. They say, hey, do this.
Yeah.
And do it properly.
We had to funnel it through. We hope to kind of make it legal and make donations. And
and then I when you just talk about there are so many skill pool, I just got the idea. Actually, like in Korea, we are using for Korean, we are using the most popular website like Sungo for the freelancers and like ideas to make a craft. And then those are like easy to, I can contact the company just like if there are like easily we can, like bring the like foreign skill pools and then help them to set up the account over there, to merge over there. I think that'd be a very good idea too, right? The government, they are not very educated. They don't really know what they're doing. I don't really care about them. But make sure we do something not illegally. And also, but corporates and there are platform there, they are also looking for like a creator anyway, So always we can match up something too. I think that'd be very good program.
So finding funding, I think was
People from some of the platforms that So we can collaborate with them.
Can you walk us through what it might look like for? I mean, lots of the F people here, F visas who have businesses, they do it through their wives.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a huge stress, one in the relationship,
Okay.
and two, just in general.
Yeah.
여보.
Yeah. Okay.
여보.
Okay.
why can't you do it yourself? I'm like,
Even I read one of your interviews and you said, listen, I'm fluent in Korean, but I still ask for help from my Korean friends because some things are just so 귀찮아 or convoluted, and it's just so much easier.
I cannot do them as a foreigner because you have to have a Korean ID to do it.
So
So it's a sole proprietorship. That is a very common issue all over the world. They have the exact same system. So you guys need to register a company as a corporate. So you can make your own 법인, like I just say 1 million stuff. There are a couple of steps, and then maybe you need to hire one kind of Korean for the name. For example, one of our friend from Belgium, he just moved into Korea last year. He have a D10-2 pre-start the visa. Now he's about to start his company. I signed the paper, so I'm then legally binding to his company as a more advisor or something in Korea, So that for you are already running the company, and then like, why? Now I will do my own stuff. You register the company, you register the public with your name, 100%, the equity by you, or you can decide, and then you will be the legal CEO of the company, and you can do everything by yourself.
And our point with the one-stop platform is to kind of help you walk through the system and also get you all the necessary templates for documentation.
Yes.
So that, for this I need this, for this I need that. I need to go here to do this. I need to go to this office to do this. So we kind of want to break it down for everyone.
And I think a lot of guys I don't want to be dependent on my wife. But the fact is, she's Korean. My wife is a civil servant, or she's a teacher. But she knows her way around through the government. I mean, she works with it all the time.
She does, but some Koreans don't know.
Oh, no, for sure.
Either. So
but what I'm saying is, I want to be independent.
Yeah,
I don't want...
Depend on you. Yeah.
I don't want to have to bug her or hassle her.
Yeah.
But like you, sometimes I can't do it. I'm a foreigner. They don't allow me to do it. So I think there's a lot, and I think of the Hagwon owners, all these guys' schools are in their wife's names.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of guys would like to register their own or be able to do it without, and their wife can do their own thing.
Yeah.
I feel lots of wives married to foreign men think, I have to be the 원장님. I don't want to be a 원장님, but I have to because this is the only way we can make money.
Yeah.
Well, you might want to be an artist.
Yeah.
You be the artist.
Yeah.
And I'll run the school part if we have this kind of support, mentoring, and system. So I think that's really good. You said specialized mentoring. Can you talk us through how, talk us through an example of, I come to you today, you say, sign up, we do the 20-hour OASIS course, I have this idea. What's the next step? You say, Nate, here's this really good guy in Busan. He'll mentor you, and this is free. You get 5 hours to meet him, and after 5 hours, you have to register a business. Or can you walk us
5
through?
you're talking about?
Yeah, no,
Just just whatever.
Yeah.
If someone like me with an F visa or whoever, what is the steps? Like we go to the OASIS 5, we learn the basics, assume we have the visa. You got the D8, 10, or you have an F visa, and now you need kind of the mentorship.
Yeah.
And you need, like, what do I do next?
Okay. That one, I think OASIS 5 still kind of we are working on it because by the law, it said they have to be one-to-one offline. But we want to kind of break it out how we can make it better, for example, online. And then obviously it's very expensive for us to hire the real expert.
Right.
But real expert, I don't think they really can help you guys either. You
Right.
the Korean
No, you
honest
guys- you
people
guys are the
provide.
experts.
So something we want to work it out. And then if you have a lot of ad orders coming for OASIS 5, that'll be our dream come true. We better to spend our time and energies and
With people who are like
we're not serious about it. That's better for us.
There's a million.
You know?
Yeah, that's the thing. We
And
know
if
so
you
many.
if you can touch that one, like just one example, I can change the Daegu location to Ulsan, for example, in September, because just we need solid more than 20 foreigners who sign up for our program.
But circling back to the OASIS 5 and the mentoring, so it's 6. We were required by law to do 6 hours, and like Jay said, originally it's one-on-one mentoring with experts, but we want to do it a little bit more exciting. So arrange meetings with local business owners and entrepreneurs connected with the business area that you're specializing in, so that you get an insight not only into the industry but also the local market. And talk with someone who has had their feet in the water and knows how to navigate the system. And we also want to arrange company meetings and company visits to prominent startups in that city that will be running the program. So
Kind of immersing yourself.
Exactly. Connect with the network and connect with the ecosystem better. Because we think that at the end of the day, 6 hours is not going to solve all your issues and problems, but getting connected with the right people and knowing that, oh, I can call this guy if I need this, and he can recommend somebody, then that will help much, much more in the long run.
This is why, like, at UNIST, I helped with the starting of the UNIST International Student Organization. At the college when I worked there, Busan College International Student Organization. Why don't the administration see the value in this? Instead of babysitting the kids, you have the alumni mentor the new kids.
Yeah.
You connect them and make the buddy program with the Korean kids. How to get a banker, how to do this. Like, there's so much value in this connecting with the people that have been before you. And I think it's so important.
I think Korea, not only the startup ecosystem, but in general, Korea is still catching up when it comes to community building and understanding that
Right.
it's giving back to the community. So it's the alumni, the more seasoned entrepreneurs who should be circling back and giving first to the newbies and kind of helping them out and supporting them and building new connections.
Can you give back? What do I get? A towel. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
What do you get? A free lunch and a picture. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
For volunteering, we're like, you're just, it's because you want to do something good for the community which you live in. We have a couple foreign buddies, 50, 60 years old. You live here for 25 years. Come and give back. Korea's given you your life, everything for 25 years. Come and give back to the community.
Oh, I don't know. I go. Well, it's kind of a shock for us too, where we originally started. We brought the Korean guy on board. We did a lot of fundraisers, and it's a lot of bull work and whatnot.
Community building.
Yeah.
But I mean, collecting almost pennies for fundraisers, and then we got a Korean head, and he goes out and like, let's go Starbucks, let's go here, let's go there. We're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, we're just wasting money.
Yeah.
Left and right here.
Yeah.
But here, volunteering or giving back has a different. It has a different feeling.
Yeah.
Because if we don't give that Starbucks
Yeah.
gift card for $20, they probably not coming back again.
Yeah.
And it's not
It's a small
they're not doing it for the Starbucks card, but we'll find like they gave back, they worked their asses off, whatever, and this is just a small token of appreciation.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
it's
for
just-
so many, like we say, we're doing this event. Okay, is there going to be lunches?
No. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We spent through the last 4 weekends fundraising, like Manon, Ochnon, and now you want lunches? Like,
Yeah.
I've spent thousands together, probably 10,000 hours of time for nothing, not even Ilsam Yugo or VMS. my kids get to see us going to the orphanage.
Yeah.
And my kids say, hey, Dad, we're not playing with this anymore. Can we give it to the kids at the orphanage?
Yeah.
That's why I do it.
Yeah.
We get people who come and say, hey, thanks a lot. I made 3 foreign friends today. This was a great experience.
Yeah.
That's why we do it.
But we see that changing a little bit, I think. Well, both with our Startup Weekend initiative and Seoul Startups and Southside Startups, that people are realizing that it's more than just the coupon. It's more than the swag that we give. That they come to our events and they really benefit from it.
Sure.
Yeah, they get those connections. They meet people. They learn something. And it doesn't have to be super fancy with amazing swag. It just has to be, so we have to show them that it's meaningful.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, and then the word of mouth spreads and people hear about our events and come back, and
I hope it spreads to Ulsan. You know, Ulsan is the Jongtong city 10 years behind Busan. So.
we can organize the next working event here in Ulsan.
Yeah.
I would be more than welcome to help you and do it because, again, we have, I think, a good pool of people here.
Yeah.
Both foreigners and Korean, like just those meet and greets.
Yes.
I went to them and I've been to them in so many places. In Ghana, we used to go all the time. In Mexico, and go meet people, have a glass of wine. There's some peanuts. It doesn't have to be fancy.
No.
Yeah.
But even I'm a warden for the Canadian Embassy for the Gyeongsanamdo Ulsan area, and we have our workshop in Seoul.
Yeah.
But the first night is kind of a meet and greet on the Friday night, and just to go and connect with people and share experiences, and then all of a sudden you're a voice actor and you do the Asahi commercials in Korea, and you're this and you're that, and people from all walks of life, all different parts of Canada coming together and go, this is a huge network that I can draw on.
Yeah, and you can tap into. But we recently, with Seoul Startups, we ran an event called Struggle is Real, where we focused on talking about failure in entrepreneurship and how that is part of the process.
Yeah.
And, in Korea, it's such a taboo subject still but people were so... when we had the venue for free, we didn't have the swag. We had pizza that was given us by the sponsors. Nothing fancy, but people came back from the event so grateful because it was like a cathartic experience for them to talk, open up and talk about something like that.
Yeah. But I think for Korean generally, as you say, we never learned the social skills when we grew up. When you think about Ghana, did you meet many Koreans in Ghana? I'm pretty sure there are lots of Korean, but Korean, we never hang out with non-Koreans, I was thinking, when I grew up, I said, why do you like that? Because I was very different kid, And I was thinking about it, it's the most stressful thing for Korean to do is to go to the network party. For just kid, so it's a kind of a busy job, bad thing, but what?
How old are you?
Yeah.
What's your job?
Yeah.
How many years?
And there's a fear. I have a friend who live in DC, went to all fancy school like Harvard and stuff. I went to their house and then, I like to talk without small talk, right? And she was saying, when is my most stressful time? So when she had to go and pick up her kids from the school bus. So she had to be stand there while other, the parents sitting down there have to small talk for 10 minutes. Harvard graduate, she said that is the most stressful time for her in a day.
Life's
so
rough.
think about that. This is a nation of the world.
That's
people like that,
that's the highlight. That's the highlight of my day.
Exactly.
I go down all the address there. Oh, Gina Appa. All right.
That people outside Korea somehow you guys are here. So it's very totally two different words. So my tactic is that when the Martha we met in the startup event. She came to the startup event I was running, Woman Network. She liked something like that. So she will do whatever to go there, meet the people,
Right.
I will do whatever I do. And then I was thinking I saw that Koreans start to change. So my tactic is that 70% foreigners, 30% Korean mixed, and the Koreans start to change. That is my kind of formula.
The right balance.
Have to be majority of the foreigners, right?
And I see that also with Seoul Startups. Seoul Startups started as mostly a foreigner network, but gradually, Koreans have been and becoming more and more active on the channel as well. And now it's 50-50.
Yeah, 50-50. And many Korean now speak Korean English too, right?
Sure.
The day before we run the hackathon, we run in the government building.
Yeah.
We met the director. He doesn't have to, he's a government worker. He doesn't have to work on a week. He opened the space for free. He came, his staff came, they all help us for free.
Right.
I think it's amazing what they did,
We talk about the other side, but we've also we've had some people and we go, wow, this guy's a saint.
Yeah.
Wow, she is an angel. This help is amazing. And to be able to do that, and for the foreign business owners,
Yeah.
we go out and solicit for pizzas, for whatever, for our events because we don't have the money.
Yeah.
And
Foreign and
hey,
Korean, yeah.
20 pizzas. I mean Korean. I'm in Korean business. Hey, 20 pizzas here.
Yeah.
Wow. And I think, you know, like you said before, like Changwon is always my wife. Why do you do this? What are you getting from this? We've been doing this for 7-8 years. We got a huge amount of experience. It's like running a business without getting paid for it.
Yeah.
But you get a huge amount of experience and knowledge you gain from this.
Yeah.
And the same as this podcast. Like we've grown so much from doing this. But everyone's always, what do you get? What do you get? It's not about necessarily the tangible things you get. It's about the skills and the experiences that you get. And we get to meet people like you guys. But I agree. I think this young generation, seeing it in university, where they lack inspiration, motivation, and maybe direction, they make up for in their aspirations to travel and get out and see the world.
Yes.
All of my students, I'm going to Japan, I'm going to Thailand, I'm going to China, and you're the first generation that's traveled freely, not for business, not for other things, but freely.
We have to listen. We have I'm also making one more foundation in Busan. So 2 people that will come to my house. We have a meeting 11:30.
11:30. Okay. So we should wrap this up.
Okay.
I wanted to ask quickly about past projects. Is there any really standout? You mentioned one earlier, but is there any standout projects that have been launched so far that you guys are connected to?
Maybe you can answer. What do you think?
Oh gosh, well, my baby, pretty much my baby project is Soul Startups, which started off as a idea in a bar where we were complaining that there was no community in the startup scene, not only for foreigners, just for
in general,
back in 2017, and lo and behold, now in 2023, it has over 4,000 members, and it's growing. It's a Slack channel, but we also run offline events. We work with government programs as well to run workshops and connection and matching programs.
Fantastic.
And and it's a great network to join.
Leading by example.
Yeah.
Taking the bull by the horns.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, guys. Listen, you got other obligations. Thank you so much. We're gonna do our best to get this out here, and I'm gonna be joining some OASIS classes at some point.
Website koreastartupvisa.com. We only have kind of 10 more seats available
For Busan.
Sure, yeah.
But if all goes good, maybe we'll open one in Busan.
Yeah.
How many seats would it? 30
Widely welcomed here.
Up to 30 people per class.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, shouldn't be
I
hard.
get that in a weekend for you.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I listen. I really appreciate it. I've been business and entrepreneur oriented since I've been 8-9 years old. My whole family, and this is what it lacks. Not only for us, for our kids. We're trying to instill this in our kids, and we're just like, well, our kids can't do any of these side hustles that we did when we were kids.
Yeah.
And we have so many ideas for kids.
Yeah.
But again, hard. And if the parents could register the business and the kids work, anyways, we could talk here for hours and hours.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. We'll push all this stuff out there on social media, and
Amazing.
I hope we can collaborate and work on some stuff in the future.
Send us your links and tags and dates and whatnot. We'll throw all that stuff up.
Maybe we'll organize a networking event in Busan soon.
Ben Slater organized the first one. We had 12 people, and we sat right out here for the first one.
And then
And if there's more than 3 days notice, we can get the people.
So I think the most practical way, I prefer to we have to run the 3 OASIS programs. So Busan is not chosen by the government. We chose the location.
Yeah.
And the one location, I wanted in Jeju because I used to work in the international school in Jeju for 2 years during the COVID. So I have a lot of network over there. So I was thinking it's easy for me to recruit the people from my own friends. But now they wanted to in Daegu, that's why I say. But if you can send us kind of with the name of the people or something, we have people in Ulsan who can participate OASIS 4.
30?
And with that, I can persuade the ministry to change the location to Daegu to Ulsan. So we can do kind of one instead, because we don't have a budget to have an extra one. But I prefer to do in the location where I have more resources.
Sure.
I prefer, Ulsan
No problem.
or Daegu.
And I know lots of people in Daegu as well. So
Oh, really? Okay.
through hockey,
really?
all the South Warm, everywhere we can.
I heard that there are a big South African community in Ulsan. That's why my
yeah,
South African
yeah.
friends were
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's good.
Anyways, we'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for coming, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.